DialogueWORKS, Recipes for Conversations That Work. Part 9, Planning to Grow. Effective leaders know how to set goals and help others unleash their potential to achieve a higher level of performance through conversations they hold. Consequently, the planning involved in creating an effective conversation is crucial to your success. Before actually planning to hold a difficult conversation, you should be aware of two often overlooked elements of effective conversation that are critical to your success. The first element is awareness, which is a product of focused attention and clarity. One of the goals you should have in planning to hold a difficult conversation is to identify what needs to be achieved. If you don't take the time to identify what you want to accomplish, you are less likely to get the desired results. Awareness is about creating focus on what you and others are doing or not doing to get what you do or don't want. It is only through this increased awareness that you become fully prepared to engage in a conversation that will work to achieve your goals. The second key element is responsibility. It is only when you and the other person in the conversation truly accept responsibility for your thoughts and actions that commitment emerges and performance occurs. Creating responsibility is dependent upon both parties in the conversation working together to clarify goals and creating executable plans that will achieve the desired results. We believe that fundamental to any conversation that works are the components of awareness and responsibility. We must first be aware of what we want and what is helping or hindering us from achieving our goals. We must then take responsibility for creating a plan to achieve our goals and to execute on that plan. So where do we start? Sir John Whitmore, a preeminent thinker in leadership and organizational change, has written 5 books on leadership, coaching, and sports. One of his best-known books is entitled Coaching for Performance. In Coaching for Performance, he provides a simple model for creating awareness and responsibility using the acronym GROW. GROW stands for goal, what you want to accomplish; reality, what is currently happening that may require a conversation; options, brainstorming what you might do to move toward the goal; and what's next, what you will do to move forward and support the accomplishment of the goal. Let's look at each component of the GROW process in more detail. Doing so will prepare you for any potentially difficult conversation and provide a guide to assist you. As I mentioned, G is for goal. The first step in preparing for a conversation that works is establishing the goals of the conversation. Here you will want to consider why you want to have the conversation in the first place. You might ask yourself these questions. What do you hope to accomplish in the conversation? What information or perspective do you want to share or communicate to the other person? The second step is to identify what needs to be achieved beyond the conversation. For example, is there a specific performance goal or result that you need to address or change? Establishing the desired results from the conversation and the identification of the longer-term goals you want to achieve will not only help you to prepare for the conversation, but also help you to remain focused during the conversation. R is for current reality. Current reality is about identifying what's happening now that is getting in the way of the results you want. Answering this question is a critical part in preparing for any difficult conversation. An effective communicator observes the current situation or challenge with the goal of gaining an objective perspective on what is interfering with the achievement of desired results. Some questions you might consider in assessing current reality in the planning process might include: what specific behaviors are impacting results? What might be some of the causes? What current data exists to support my assumptions or interpretations? As we described in the process of perception, each of us is subject to distortions of current reality created by our own assumptions, interpretations, or past experiences of the individual in this situation. Taking the time to examine your thinking about how the situation came to be can help you process and check your own emotional responses. Doing so will help you maintain your rationality and objectivity as you work with the other person and move toward developing a shared goal. O is for options. We know that good leaders by nature are problem solvers. As you prepare for a difficult conversation, you will want to consider as many options as possible for moving toward the goal and achieving desired results. For example, if you are having a conversation to solve a performance problem, you might plan by asking yourself, what could be done to solve this problem? What strategies or courses of action do you feel will close the performance gap or enhance future performance? What are some potential consequences if the poor performance continues? Although you want to prepare to offer your own options, your goal in the conversation will be to elicit ideas from the other person. Doing so creates that responsibility for and commitment to the desired changes in behavior that will achieve results. W is for what's next. A conversation that works ends with a plan of action. John Whitmore describes this phase as the construction of an action plan to meet a requirement that has been clearly specified, on ground that has been thoroughly surveyed, and using the widest possible choice of building materials. It's about deciding on a specific option and agreeing on what will be done by whom and by when. As you plan to create shared responsibility and commitment for achieving the goal, you will want to consider such concerns as: what will you do to support efforts to move toward the goal? What potential barriers may exist to achieving the goal? How and when will you measure progress and follow up? We know that success in any venture worth doing takes time and good planning. Using the DialogueWORKS planner will help you to be more successful and to save time as you engage others in conversations that work.